Well, let's start. Tips for effective Gmail management. All right, so our first tip today is changing the Gmail status. Keep in mind, whenever you change the Gmail status, that's going to also change it in Google Chat. So I have a screenshot here of what it looks like. The nice thing about this presentation, you can access it after the presentation. You see that little light bulb right there? When you click on it, it'll take you to the support document where you can learn more about it yourself. All right, so maybe after this, if you forget how we do something, just use this as a reference. All right, so let's look at how we actually change our Gmail status. I'm going to swap over here to Gmail. All right, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. There we go. You can surely see that okay. In the upper right hand corner, you see where it says away. So if somebody was wanting to reach out to me or to check my status, right now they would see that I'm away. I can change that, and you can change it. Let's go ahead and follow along here. Just by clicking the drop down, you can see we have automatic, which is based on our chat activity. So if we're actively engaged in chatting back and forth with a colleague, Gmail will detect that and it will show us as green. This person is active. All right. Do not disturb. That's if we've set it that way. Perhaps if we're giving a presentation or we're in a meeting, or away if you're not anywhere close to being able to communicate back. You can add a custom status, which I'll sometimes do if I'm out at a doctor's appointment or maybe at a conference. This could be useful. So let's go ahead and try that. Let's say add a status. So you can write your own. So you can see some of the ones I have here. Be right back, commuting, out sick, vacationing. I'm going to go ahead and create one for a conference. All right, let's see if you all can do one too. It doesn't have to be tech conference. I'm going to do tech conference. But look at what else we can do. So it's going to automatically find a suitable icon to go with that. But if we click on it, see, we can choose our own. Let's see. Learn. Let's see what it comes up with learning. Maybe building or school. Let's see. Oh, there we go. That'll work for me. School. There we go. Tech conference. I'll tap done. Now it'll show my status as I'm at a tech conference. Somebody's trying to reach out to me, they can see that and they won't have to actually call me or talk to somebody else trying to figure out where on earth I am. That's just your status. Did you see that?
Yeah, but I didn't have all those little icon things.
When you went to your status and you went to edit, you have to click right here. See that?
Yeah.
There you go. You should have them.
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Good. That's how you change your Gmail status. Create rules to filter Gmail messages. This is a very useful one. So let's say you get lots of emails from the state and you want them all filtered nicely and sorted so you can find them quickly later. They're not just set there in your inbox and you're having to hunt for them. You can create a rule to filter all of those. Let me show you how that works. All right? So you can apply a filter or a rule to any message you already have in your inbox. It's just a matter of choosing it and then going to the three dots and you can say filter messages like these. But if you want to start from scratch, which is what I'm going to show you today, you're going to click on the little gear icon over here on the top right. Do you see that? Mm-hmm. All right, let's click that. And then we're going to choose See All Settings. All right, See All Settings. All right, so we're looking for filtered and blocked addresses. You see that listed on the top there, top row? All right, I wish they would change this, but they have the add filter button all the way down at the bottom. So you got to scroll all the way down to the bottom here. All right, and then we're going to say create a new filter. Do you see that? All the way down at the bottom, it says, well, close to the bottom, create a new filter. Okay? So let's click that. Okay, so let's say I want to filter all the messages from my personal email that I send myself. Okay, so I'm going to enter that here. There I am, larsont@mac.com. All right, So all the messages from that address. You could just as easily go through your inbox and copy an address. This could be any address that you have. You put it in there. You could also specify a subject or words that are contained in it. Now you got to be careful and choose this wisely, because you could end up gathering a lot of emails that you don't necessarily want. Okay, so I've found it works best if you're dealing with a specific email address. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set that as my filter. Just any messages from larsont@mac.com. So what I can do here is I can click search. It'll automatically search for my email for any of them. Or if I just want to go ahead right now and move forward, I can say create the filter. Now this next page, you need to pay close attention. So that top option, skip the inbox, archive it. What does that mean? That means you won't actually see it in your inbox. The only way that you're going to see that message is if on the left-hand side you choose all mail. All right, so I do want it to skip the inbox. I want it to automatically go into this label that I set up. So I'll check that. Then apply the label. So a label is just like a folder. Think of a label as a folder. It's going to hold messages. So I'm going to say apply the label, and then you pick your label. So I have lots of labels that I've created here, lots of folders. Now if you don't have a folder created, you can create one here. I'll say new label, and I'll call it, all right, and you could tell it to nest this folder inside of another folder if you want. That's what the nest means. It's just going to be placing it inside. Here's a little pro tip. If you want this folder to appear at the very top of your label list, put a special character by it, any special character, and it'll appear at the very top. Okay? So I'll go ahead and click create. Not done yet. Down here at the bottom, also apply filter to 15 matching conversations. So what that's going to do is it's going to take all the emails that I've already sent to myself and place them in there. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So at this point, you could say create filter. This option may come in handy. Sometimes emails that come in, especially from outside sources, occasionally will get filtered to the spam. You can prevent that by choosing this option. Never send it to spam, and you'll be sure that you get it. All right? Click create filter and you're done.
Then Tom,
yeah.
When you say skip inbox,
yeah.
So when you go in and you say check mail, or when you go in, like I go in, I check inbox.
Yep.
If you say, if I send myself, like I did mine, sent mine up on my personal one to my school one.
Yeah.
If I said skip inbox, then that email from me will not ever show up in my inbox.
It won't appear here in your inbox.
So
However,
I would have to go to.
You'd have to go to that folder. Yeah, those are good questions. On the left-hand side, the label will change if a new message comes in. So you can see over on the left-hand side here, it's bold. That's fine. All right, let's move on to the next. Creating our labels, all right, which is sort of what we just talked about. You don't have to do that through the settings. You can actually come in here on the left-hand side, and you see where it says labels. All you have to do is just click the little plus symbol here. And there's how you create your label. And then, of course, you have the nesting option right there if you want that to be contained in a different label. And with regards to your labels, you can see how mine have different colors on them. You can choose different colors if you want. So if you Control-click on any of them, you can choose the edit option here. Well, first off, there's the label color. And then if you go to edit, you could add a little emoji there. All right. Moving on. Preview your email before you open it. All right. So, whoops, let me get back here. So this is the key. If you want to be able to preview your email, you have to set the reading pane up to either right of inbox or below the inbox. Let me show you where that option is. All right, so if you click your gear icon right there, here's our gear icon. Let's scroll down. If this is set like so, we're not going to be able to preview it. So I can see it, and I can go down through them, cycle down through them, but the only way for me to actually read what's in them is to click on them, and now they're open. I've just opened the email. If you want to prevent that step, we're going to go to either right of inbox or below inbox. If I choose right of inbox, see what it'll do. I can select the message. Now look, I'm cycling down quickly.
I do like that.
Oh yeah.
Because I was the first one that you showed.
Yeah. And with them selected, usually when I trying to clear out my inbox, I do it this way. I have them selected, and as I go through them, I'm just hitting archive, archive, archive. It automatically selects the next message down, and I can see it on the right. So if there's something, and I go through that really quickly, if there's something in there that catches my eye, I might not archive it.
Okay, and then the purpose of archiving it versus fitting it under a label is?
Well, archiving really, it's more closely related to being deleted.
Okay.
All right, so archive is going to put it in all mail. It's out of your inbox, but it's not deleted. All right.
Okay.
You also have the option here to delete it. If you delete it, it puts the message in the trash. It's there for 30 days. After that point, it's removed. I just make it a habit of archiving most everything
So
because you never know when I want to
doesn't
go
give you
back
30
and.
days, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Archiving doesn't give you 30 days?
Archive will stay. It will stay in the all mail forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two things are.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Continuing. That was previewing your email. Snooze email till later. You ever heard of this feature? The snooze feature? This is pretty handy. So let's say you're sent an email by someone. You don't want it in your inbox. You don't want it right there in front of you. You want to put it away and be visible a little bit later. All right? So here's how you do that. You're going to select the message. You're going to control or right click on it, and you can do this as well. And you're going to choose snooze. Now watch what happens. When we choose snooze, we can have it snooze until later today, tomorrow, later this week, next week, or you can pick the date and time. So it basically puts it out of your sight, and it only brings it back at the time that you specify, right back where it was. Okay? Snooze.
So
It's just like hitting snooze on the alarm clock, right? It's still going to go off, but you've delayed it. Moving on. Mute Gmail messages. I will do this for those messages where people have replied all. All right. That's one of my pet peeves. So here's how you deal with that. If somebody's doing that and you don't want to see all the replies, you're just going to control click on the email and you're going to say mute. So all those replies that people keep flooding your inbox with, you're not going to see. Mute.
Just mutes that thread.
Mutes that thread.
Okay.
Yep. Snooze, mute. All right. Add contacts to a group. This is handy if you want to. It's just like an email list. All right. So if you want to create an email list, rather than having to retype everyone's individual emails whenever you're composing a message, you just create a little group in Google Contacts, and then you can enter that instead of all the individuals. Here's how that's done. On the right-hand side, this area right over here, now you may or may not see it. The side panel might be collapsed. If it's collapsed, you're not going to see anything. You're just going to see this little button in the lower right-hand corner. If you click that, there's our little buttons in the side panel. All right, we're looking for this one, the one that says Contacts. Do you see that? Let's tap that. So this is going to automatically pull up people in a thread, the contacts there. if I go to my contacts option here and then click this button, open in a new tab, it's going to open up the full contact site where I can manage all of my contacts and create a group. All right, so let's do that. Let's click this little icon here, open in a new tab. Here it comes. Here's all the contacts, all my contacts. All right, here's everybody in our district directory. All right, and then all the contacts, all of our contacts, that's going to be all the emails from outside sources. It's going to sort of grab all those and put them in here. Okay, so here's how you would create a group. All right, it's sort of like a label. All right, I'm going to click the little plus symbol over here on the left hand side, create label. I'm going to call this top performers. All right, so at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my contact list, and I'm just going to pick people at random here. Here's how you select someone. You just see where their face is. You just tap it, now they're selected. All right, so I've got 4 individuals selected here. I want to add them to a label. Here it is. There's merge, manage labels. All right, I'm going to look for top performers. That's what it's called, top performers. And then I'm going to apply it. Now, if I come back to my Gmail and I start a message, what did I call it? Top performers? It might take a minute. Oh, there it is. It takes a second or two before Gmail gets it, but there. Then it automatically brings in all the people. You can actually take them and just drag them over. There.
Okay.
So you can go through all the names here and just drag them over if you want. That's probably going to be an easier way. It's not as precise, and you might accidentally drop it on a group that you don't want it to go to. But once they're in there, you can go in there, and I believe you can remove them if you want. So for example, if I'm in top performers and I want to take somebody out, I can just click the dots here and I can say delete. Right clicking also shows me all the other groups that they're in as well. See that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just uncheck them, remove them from the label. Yeah. Right. This next one, schedule emails. This is very handy. You want to send out an email to somebody and you want it to go out first thing in the morning. Maybe you're up late working on it. You get it composed. Say I want this to go to Mr. Odom here. Important. Okay, this little drop down right beside the send button. That's what you're going to look for. And you can say schedule send. Tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, or you can pick the date and time. I understand that. Yeah, that little drop down beside send, that's going to give you the options that you want. So if I said I want this to go out tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'll just type that in. All right, and then I'll say schedule send. All right, so you're like, all right, that's great. Well, where did it go? Well, on the left-hand side here, you see where it says scheduled? It puts it right there. That's where it can be found. So if I choose that, scheduled, it's going to see, oh, there's the message that I was going to send Marty. I can choose it. And if I want to cancel that, I just click the cancel send button. And then it takes me to the draft. At that point, I can delete it if I want to. Now you won't be getting an email in the morning from me.
I was hoping to get to work
No.
tomorrow.
That's how you schedule an email. Pretty easy, right? Okay. This one's nice. So, request or return a read receipt. So you want to send an email to someone and you want to know whether or not they read it. All right. So you'll see the option whenever you're composing the email to request the read receipt. That's what the option looks like there. Now, when you choose that and you send it out, the recipient, whenever they click on the email, that's what they're going to see on their screen. It's going to see read receipts requested. So it falls on them to click send receipts so that you'll be notified. When they do that, you'll get this in your inbox, this little message that says so-and-so has read the message. And if you want more information on that, you could click the little show receipt button. You can see all the technical jargon associated with that send. Protect Gmail with confidential mode. So if you got a really sensitive Gmail you want to send to someone and you're worried that the email might be sent to them and then they don't delete it or remove it, very, very sensitive in nature, you can do this. Let me show you. You can turn on confidential mode. Here's how that works. Compose an email. Let's all do this together. Go ahead and address it. I'm going to say highly classified. Okay. You're going to see this little icon down here. It has a lock on it. Do you see that? That's your confidential mode toggle. Let's go ahead and click that. All right. So this is nice. So you want them to have the message in their inbox. You can have it set to expire. That means the message will totally disappear in a week, a month, and a day. And for added security, you could choose to have them, in order to read it, enter their cell phone number there as well, just by checking that option. So you actually see the screen whenever you go to send it. This is where you would enter the text number there. Okay?
You have to have their number.
You have to have their cell phone number. Yeah. All right. So if you find yourself having to respond to people and using the same message over and over, instead of having to retype, you can create a template and just call it back. It could save yourself some time. This is where you'll find them, right in here under options. Let me show you how we create one of those. I'm going to compose another message. Okay. So we click our three dots, and we're going to see the templates option. So you can see I've got lots of them already created. There's this standard form that I have to send to Apple whenever we do an Apple repair that includes lots of information, specific information about our school system here, some numbers. I don't want to have to call that back up, so I created a template. So anytime I want to just have that quickly entered, I would choose the template. So if I choose one of these templates, see how it automatically filled in everything? I don't have to retype it. Yeah. Let me do that again. Let's go up to templates. Here's all the ones that I've created. And to create a template, all you have to do is start composing a message, and then go back up to templates, and you can say, save this as a template, and then you can give it a name. All right, a branded email. This is what I started to talk about earlier. A few weeks ago, I sent out a newsletter, the Alcoa Technology newsletter, and I used this feature, the layouts feature, to create a really professional looking newsletter. It's built right into Gmail, and this might be one of those other features that you don't have. If you go to Compose, you're looking for this option right down here where it says select a layout. Do you all have that?
Email layouts?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so if we go select the layout, yeah, look here. Look at all these. So these are default layouts, and you can go through here. You can see what some of the different layouts look like. As you choose them, over on the right, you can scroll down and you can see how they're sort of laid out. And these are really nice. And once you choose it, you go to edit it and you just replace the existing content there with your content. And if you want to customize the styling, that is the colors or maybe the icons associated, you go to the default styling and see you could change your color scheme around if you wanted to. You could upload your own logo if you wanted. Change all the information that appears down in the bottom. Change your social links that are going to appear there. So what you end up with is a very nice professionally done newsletter that looks legit. When I receive an email from somebody that's legit, I'm more inclined to look at it. So let's say I want to edit one of these. I click Edit Layout, and we get this nice screen here where we could bring in our own stuff. At this point, you just need to play around with it. I might do a whole video on just this newsletter feature because it's pretty powerful, and it takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's all there. Really, really nice. Mail merge. I just got 2 left, and then we'll be done. And we're going a little bit over. I apologize. Send a personalized email with mail merge. A lot of people didn't know this was there. I didn't know this was there for the longest time, but it is. And it's pretty handy. So this is what it actually is going to look like here. You have this little icon right beside BCC. And if you've ever wondered what that was, you're about to find out. So if we click that icon, do you all have that icon there?
Yes.
Okay, watch this. Use mail merge. All right, and then you want to check it. All right, so basically what it does is it takes the information in a spreadsheet and it's going to pull that in to your message using tags. This will make more sense here in just a second. So I already have a spreadsheet created that has some names and addresses. So I'm going to choose that. Just watch this. I'll say add from a spreadsheet. And here's the one that I created earlier. I'll click insert. All right, so it's automatically going to detect that in that spreadsheet we have email addresses, we've got a first name, I'll show you the spreadsheet in just a second, and then a last name. Okay, finish. Now here's where it gets fun. Watch this. Greetings. I'm going to use the @ symbol. Here's all my tags. So I'm going to say first name. I enjoyed your presentation on. I'm doing another little @ symbol. The topic. Your grade was a, and then I'm going to do the @ symbol. Whoops. The score. There we go. Now I could send that out and it'll go to all the individuals who are listed in the spreadsheet. There's everyone's email address, their first name, their last name. So what Gmail is doing, whenever I enter that @ name, @ last name, @ topic, @ score, it's pulling that and it's looking inside the spreadsheet here in each of the different rows, and it's going to create and generate a separate email for each of those entries. So you could use this to maybe generate something that was pulled from a form that people had entered information on. It filters into here, and you just give it your tags, and you're good to go. You can save yourself a lot of time. Mail merge. All right, last thing we're going to cover, making a nice Gmail signature. All right, now I've got some nice templates for you that you can use if you wanted to make use of those. So here's how we do it. Let me exit out of this here. You're going to click on your settings button in Gmail. Go to see all settings. And then you're going to scroll down and you're going to locate, we're in the General tab here, which is the first one. You're going to locate the signature icon right here. So I have one that I've set up. It's got our tech department logo there, followed by my name, and then I have some social icons down below here. And then my schedule, my appointment schedule there that people can click on. So the way you create a signature is just by clicking the Create New button here, and you're going to first give it a name. I'm going to say version 2. All right. I'll click Create. Now there it is. Now at this point you could manually type in information, but that's, as my son would say, that's mid. We don't want to do that. We want to do something that's a little bit better than that. All right, so here's where I'm helping you out. The Gmail signature. In the presentation, I've got this link to a template where all you have to do is copy it and bring it in there. So watch what happens. If I click this graphic here, and you all can do the same, if you click it, it's going to open up this message, which is forcing a copy of the document into your Google Drive. And once it's there, all you have to do is change this information here. So I've got one for the district logo, the elementary, intermediate, middle, high school, and PAL. So watch this. So let's say I was at the middle school and I want to make one for myself. All right. I'm just going to replace this with my name. All right. All right, and then I'm not going to change anything with the favorite quote or line. So here's how you get this into Gmail. Watch this. You're going to select the graphic, hold down the Shift key, and then move your cursor right about to here and click. Then it's selected all of it. Now that you have it selected, I'm going to copy it. I think you know where I'm going with this. I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to paste it in. There it is. And then at that point, I can save it. Now watch this. When I compose a message, I can switch signatures. I can say, oh, I want 2024 version 2. There it is. Did you see how we did that? So if you want that template again, just click on the presentation, that graphic right there. And then you'll be able to open that up. It's in your drive. You can mangle it, do whatever you want to it, and then just copy that into the signature field there in Gmail. It's nice having a graphic there with it. It lends an air of professionalism to it. All right. Well, we've covered quite a bit today. Hopefully you found something useful. I will say I appreciate you all bringing up the things that need attention brought to. I will check on those features that you all weren't seeing. Like I said, it's probably just they're not turned on. I will address that. In the coming days, I'll share some other information just to wrap up what it is that we covered. And of course, you all have in-service credit. So in the presentation, go ahead and click on that graphic and fill out the form, and you will get a certificate. This was 1 hour of professional development training that you are accredited for. Make sure you choose today's session, which was on Gmail, and I redesigned the certificate a couple weeks ago, so you can have a new one, a new style. Make sure you enter your name the way you want it to appear on the certificate, and then it'll hit your inbox about 30 seconds. And that is all I have for today.
All right, thank you.
I'm so glad you all came.